All right, let's talk about shipping and freight. Really important. If you don't know what's going on, it can stress you out. If you don't know what to expect, you can be surprised at what happens. Let me walk you through how the shipping works, all the different options they are, and I'll give you some feedback. So once you won the auction, where you did a buy now or negotiated a price, the next step is getting it shipped to wherever you're at. So there's all kinds of different shipping methods based on the seller, right? Some seller, they all have different ways. So let's talk about it to avoid surprises. Standard shipping is the most common shipping method you'll see. The cost varies. There's a bunch of factors, but the zip code, the weight, how much space it takes up in the truck. It may seem like a lot, but a couch takes up a lot more space, obviously, than something smaller. So the number of pallets, how many spaces it takes, all that stuff impacts the freight. Buyer arranged shipping is all up to you, right? You're responsible for getting a carrier, shipping the product, picking it up from the seller's facility to your location. So if you don't have freight carrier in mind, you want to do that before you buy, right? You want to have all this figured out. Like, hey, I'm using this carrier and they have some shipping partners listed. You can take a look and talk to those folks. There's a bunch of shipping companies out there you can talk to. You can go take a look at freightquote.com. They're a shipping logistics provider. So you can go up and put, okay, here's the zip code of where I'm picking it up from. Here's my zip code. What's the cost? And Freight Quote will give you a bunch of different prices based on the carrier, how long it takes to get there. So you can choose what's best for you, right? Speed over money. I've used Freight Quote for years, and they're a great resource. You can use whatever you want. Some of these places will even let you come pick up the inventory yourself. It just depends on the carrier or on the supplier. Not everybody will. Some of the bigger ones won't do it, but some of the other ones. Some suppliers offer auctions and deals with free shipping, typically smaller listings, health and beauty, watches, jewelry, that kind of stuff. So you'll have some of those in there, even on some of the big sellers. And then there's flat rate shipping. They'll list the flat rate right there. It doesn't matter where you're at in the US. Typically, again, on smaller loads, but you'll find those listed, throughout when you're looking at the site. Accessorial fees. Easy for me to say. There's some different fees, depends on the services that you need, right? Some buyers, they get surprised by these, but typically the big one is, do you need the lift gate, right? If you don't have equipment to unload the truck, if you don't have a forklift or a loading dock, they have to send a truck that has a lift gate, and you're going to pay a fee for that. Pretty nominal. Same thing with, if you're going to get it delivered to a residence, they have to send a smaller truck. And so they have to move this stuff around a little bit more. So there's going to be another fee. Again, it's pretty nominal, but you need to be prepared for it. You can see those fees before you buy. There's also floor loaded shipments. So sometimes big appliance orders, because they want to consolidate, they move those appliances in. So be aware of what you're going to get. Some suppliers will offer consolidated shipping. So if you're buying multiple lots, they'll combine them. You'll see that up there before you bid. So, you want to be sure the eligible lots, they have to come from the same seller and the same warehouse location, right? The faster you pay up here, the faster you're going to get your shipments. So you want to go ahead and get those paid for, especially if you want to combine those. And some of them have requirements on the number of pallet spaces necessary to get them into a single truckload, but you can find that up there too. And it's not all sellers. So you just got to look at the listing details to see if it's eligible or not. Make sure your address is correct. If you pay for the order and then you change your mind about where it's going to ship, it's a real headache for everybody, and it'll slow down your order. So be sure before you pay that the shipping address on the order matches where you want it to be shipped to. Yeah, if you ship to the wrong place, especially if they ship to the wrong place, it's time and money. It's a tremendous headache. Make sure you know if it's a commercial or residential address, so there's no surprises there. Then you'll get some shipping instructions, usually within a few business days, and it depends on the seller and the type of shipment, but you can track everything, go under your orders, and if you have questions, things, I don't see it shipped or whatever, use the chat customer service on Bstock. It's great. They'll give you some information. They'll go take a look at it. You can see your order status in the order section, whether it's an open order, your payment has been applied, all that kind of stuff. If it's shipped, everything. I always recommend you want to try to buy near a distribution center near you so you can save on freight. Definitely want to do that. There's distribution places throughout the country. I'm in California. I don't buy a lot in Florida. It's much more expensive to get it out here, so I try to stick to the West Coast or, as close to California as I can. Before you buy anything, click that edit link in the top right of the listing. You can have various shipping address listed there. So if you have a warehouse or you're shipping to a residential area or you have a self-storage unit, all those addresses can bring up different rates for your shipping costs. So experiment those and adjust up and down and see what happens. The shipping rate will update in real time to show you those prices so you can find the cheapest delivery location, right? So let's talk about the lot sizes. FTL, full truckload, right? That's a full truckload. They can't put a lift gate on that, semi-truck. You've got to either have a receiving dock or a forklift to get that stuff off the truck. I have people in my Reseller Mastermind, if they're having a full truckload delivered like to a self-storage place, they rent a forklift to come unload the truck. LTL shipments are less than a truckload. And if you're going to get those pallets delivered to a residence, you're going to have a lift gate, and the trucks will have a pallet jack, but I highly recommend you get a pallet jack. You can pick them up pretty inexpensive, like on Facebook Marketplace. It'll change your life. So much easier for you to move this stuff around. Treat your drivers well. These are typically drivers that you're going to see over and over again. So I always tip my driver, buy them lunch, because next time they're going to be more motivated to help you move your stuff in your garage or into your storage unit. You want to have a good relationship with these people. Shipping is real important. You want to be sure when, if a freight company's calling you, say, hey, we got this LTL shipment coming in, ask them, hey, can you text or call me? Have the driver text or call me 30 minutes before so I can be sure I'm ready for them. Make sure you've got a good place for them to unload. If I get residential deliveries, my house is up on a hill, the trucks can't get up here, so I meet them down. So I make sure I have a map that I text them. Like the minute they send me, hey, we're going to be there in 30 minutes, I go, great, here's a map. You can find exactly where to drop it off. I have an area down at my hill that I have them drop it off on the pavement. So make sure you have the right equipment so there's no surprises when they show up. And look at the FAQ if you have questions about the shipping. So the more you understand about shipping and things, the easier it's going to be and the faster it's going to be to get this product in your door so you can sell it.
Go to bstock.com and register today.